The bottom line on this is I've watched him here during all of this time. He's a very talented actor. He is a very talented actor.
Okay. And you're an actor, right? That's what you did.
Content creator.
Right.
I wanted to be an actor.
Okay. But you did a lot of impressions, right?
Yes.
You're a good actor, right?
To a certain degree, but not good enough to be in a movie. Well, I don't think.
Any tears that he's cried in this courtroom have been for himself. They are not for Ray and Anna. It's just, that's the reality. He fears the consequences, as he should, of his actions. But as he sits here today, I don't know if he's really sorry. I have serious reservations about it. I know he's sorry about the consequences of going to prison for the rest of his life. But I can't say that I think he's sorry for having killed these two innocent human beings.
All right, we recess.
Members of the audience, please wait in the hallway. Yeah, keep these.
In the Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of San Diego, the people of the State of California, plaintiff versus Ali Abulaban, defendant, case number SCD 292181, verdict. We, the jury in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Ali Abulaban, guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Nothing.
Of Rayburn Cardenas Baron in violation of the penal.
I'm sorry that my horrendous action that day resulted in the undeserved deaths of Rayburn Baron and Anna Marie Abulaban. My partner, my best friend, the mother of my daughter, and the love of my life.
All right, you told us yesterday you wanted a gun that was accurate, right?
I wanted a reliable gun.
Reliable for shooting, right?
No, for for dancing. I don't know.
Need to answer the question. But this is what Anna was telling you in October, right?
Your Honor, can I have her removed in the audience, please?
I don't know who you are.
Her name is Alicia Juco. She's from the friend group. She's been taunting me every single time.
All right, first of all, I'm not going to, I have not seen anything. But again, I'm going to reiterate this. If anybody does anything to interfere with this trial, I will have you put in jail. I'm being very serious about this. All right, next question.
Okay, thank you. And you mentioned that you made a couple of notes in your phone about not hitting Anna, right? Like about not wanting to hit her and to respect her and love her, things like that, right?
Yes.
Why would you need to make notes to remind yourself not to hit your wife?
Because I was very impulsive in that time frame. I was very not like myself, and I was unpredictable. And my thinking patterns would change on a daily basis, maybe even in an hour basis.
So you didn't know just to not hit your wife? You had to make a note about it?
It's more so me admonishing myself. It's not that I didn't know. It's more like in that moment, it's like, you did that. You should feel ashamed. I'm berating myself.
She blatantly told you in October, you asked her, if you said, you're stringing me along, and she said, I'm not stringing you along.
Right. But she was.
But you talked about,
When she says things like, you can't move away from San Diego,
Okay, I'm going to
because
sustain that.
when she says,
No,
like,
no, there's no question pending. Next question.
you testified earlier about meeting up with Anna on October 16th of 2021, right?
sorry, I didn't hear the question.
In those 3 days that I took the stand, I was able to share and say a lot of things, except the one thing I wanted to say the most. I am so incredibly sorry to each and every one of you who have been affected by this. I cannot imagine the pain that I've caused your families. I saw the look on all your faces and the tears in your eyes, and I hate that I'm the reason for it. On that day of October 21st, 2021, I was in the worst physical and mental state of my life. I was sick, suffering from an untreated severe mental illness that was combined with a crippling drug addiction, which put me in a state of a drug-induced psychosis. My response in that moment was an unintended, impulsive reaction against my better judgment to the discovery of Ray's romantic involvement with my wife. And for that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that in that moment I was not mentally strong enough to control myself. To Amira, my beloved daughter. Amira, when you're old enough to see this, please don't blame yourself. None of this is your fault. It is truly unfortunate that despite the compelling evidence that this was a crime of passion, somehow the jury still landed on this verdict, and they certainly wasted no time in doing so. The fact that I spent more time on the stand than the jury took to deliberate my fate is very concerning. In fact, the jury foreman himself told Fox 5 News reporters that a few of the jurors wanted to pick second degree, but were pressured not to by the rest of the jury. I think that speaks for itself, loud and clear, that reasonable doubt was intentionally overlooked, and that justice was not the motivating factor behind their decision. It was vengeance. And now I am left with no other option but to spend the rest of my life in prison. Death by incarceration. A very slow and drawn-out death sentence. That means that 50 years from now, should I still be alive, I would still not be considered for release. I don't think that's fair at all. Especially after it has been made clear that drugs and alcohol were involved. And add that to along with infidelity and mental illness, and you've got a recipe for disaster. One that anyone could fall into.
Bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there. Please. In this matter, the defendant on count 1 will be sentenced to life without the possibility of probation via Penal Code Section 1190.2, Parent A, Parent 3,